allez, 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 allez. 1, 2, 3, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Ruckers, episode 44. Huh, guys? That is a lot, meneer. Okay, guys, welcome back to a fun-filled episode of your number one rugby podcast. I'm the short guy. I'm the round guy. I am your friendly neighborhood referee, currently sitting with 2 knees that's like a Datsun from 1998. I'm Rudy Page, and next to me.
I want to be the big guy, Juan de Jong in the house. Here we go.
Boykie.
How's things? You good, eh?
Fantastic. I'm excited.
Yeah. Exciting. What did you say? 44?
44.
Oh, quick maths. Yes, sir. It's been a long ride.
It's obviously fantastic support currently, but I'm excited to talk rugby. There's a lot of rugby. We have a French, not a French international, but someone from France currently playing his rugby in France on the show. That's why I am feeling the vibe, boy.
We're going to have some French fries today. French toast it is.
Exactly.
Okay. How's the weekend been? Happy weekend?
Weekend was excellent. Mother's Day was fantastic, guys.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
I obviously spoiled wifey lekker. The really good weekend with family. Went out to Wellington a bit.
Hey, Wakaberi.
Yeah.
Where's my invite?
No, you were not in town, meneer.
I must send you the location, man. I know these places, man. Huh?
Had a lekker time with the family out, just a place outside of Wellington. Had some coffee, sat around with the family. Kids were just running around, but brilliant. And then obviously a lot of fun-filled rugby. The Bulls gave me a fright at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What the Bulls are doing.
Yourself?
Been good, eh? Went away to Arniston.
Afghanistan?
Waarhuiskrans.
Okay.
What? The model to bounce.
Model to blondes from Afghanistan.
Yeah, so I was there a little bit with the family. Obviously, having a fantastic weekend with the family. Out to the beach. You know, it's good for the souls to relax and unwind a little bit. Yeah, and spoil the wife and spoil the family. Yeah, fantastic.
Lekker, meneer. And guys, obviously, Behind the Ruck is powered and sponsored by Kruger International Asset and Wealth Management. Make sure that we take a photo of the squeeze bag once it pops up. Then our exclusive betting partner, Lulabet. Thank you for your ongoing support, guys, and being in our corner. And also, Behind the Ruck, us, we addressed and impressed by our official apparel partner, Old School. Okay. Thank you for our sponsors, guys.
Youngblood.
Massive appreciation.
You look good. Is that still Knox? Is it Drykers Duplessis?
Drykers Duplessis.
Hey, are you aggressive today? I'm easy today. Are you not aggressive today?
It says Drykers Duplessis build different.
Build different.
But
you build nicely.
I'm also built different. Drykers, okay? I'm built like a roly-poly.
Yes, roly-poly.
But it's fine.
Bounce off the ground. Yeah, partner. So exciting time. So you mentioned this now. We got French fries in the house.
Yes.
Do you want the lineup? Because I can give to you what you want.
Happy days.
I want to put you in a comfort zone. Okay. Okay, starting with our lineup. Like always, news and updates. We need to know what's happening. Okay, there's a couple of people that things have changed.
Okay.
I don't know what World Rugby is doing, but things have changed. And then straight into French fries. Okay. French toast. Okay. Jack Willis in the house.
You're lekker.
Wow. Toulouse, flanker, open side flanker. Obviously, we're going to touch base with him, see how he's doing. They obviously, in a couple of weeks, they're playing on the 25th. They're playing at Tottenham Hotspur in the final of the Champions. Hotspur, chilly hot. Hotspur. So, yeah, fantastic to catch up with him and see what their mindset is in. Okay.
Having our first English international player on the show. That's brilliant, man.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. And then obviously check the results. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you probably wanna check the results and then the fixtures and then a Lulabet predictions. Okay. So yeah, fantastic lineup, eh? Are you excited?
Yeah.
Should we get going?
Get with the
cracking,
news.
like they say. Okay. Let's start off with I'm throwing the ball in your corner. World Rugby has made a couple of changes. Hey, they've changed the laws. Hello, Mark's level.
Yeah, I think everybody, partner, Ruckers, everybody's obviously been up in arms about the Damien Willems law, as I call it. You can't take a scrum on a free kick. For me, I've got no issues with it, partner. It happened once in rugby. It was an anomaly. Rassie found a loophole obviously in it. They obviously trying to make sure that there isn't scrums, as many set pieces, which I understand.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problems with it.
Yeah, it's a
yourself?
very interesting one because I saw someone tweeted a couple of days ago. They tweeted World Rugby actually said after that happened, oh, what a genius idea. And now a couple of months later, they're cancelling it. Because I don't know if it's to protect the game, if it's to speed up the game, is it to protect the youngsters, obviously, with the scrums and stuff. But yeah, in the end of the day, it is what it is. If South Africa wants to use it for their advantage or their strength, let the people just play the game, man.
Look, Paddy, I'm not worried because Rassie is so intelligent, Ruckers, that whatever laws, and I think that is probably the basis of a coach.
Yeah.
You need to go find something that gives you the competitive edge. And Rassie has proven to us that he will find the competitive edge for the Springboks thoroughly. For me, I'm not a big fan of scrum, so I don't mind it. Scrums takes a lot of time, guys. I want to see bowling play. I want to see tries being scored. I know
100%.
it's one of our strongest phases in South African rugby, and it only happened once, as I previously said.
100%.
So it's not something I'm going to throw my boat out
Yes.
and rock the hele
And Frans
bootjie.
Malherbe in Chasing the Sun said, no one dreams about scrummaging. He
Exactly.
still thinks about him running down a touchline.
So, but World Rugby is just obviously, I don't think we'll ever know, partner. We just got to take it as it is,
100%,
unfortunately.
yeah. Okay, and then we got to cover the junior box. Okay, we said we're going to cover all of it. They played New Zealand first of all. It was a draw. Then they lost against Australia. Then Argentina, good victory this past weekend, 30-28. Unbelievable scenes, and they came second overall. What's your thoughts? Is there any standout players? How did the boys perform? Are we looking good for the World Cup coming up in a couple of months at home?
Partner, and I don't want to be critical of young players. That is not. I'm more critical, or not critical. I'm more worried about the fact that back in the days we used to have a lot of players playing Super Rugby that went to the Junior World Cup.
Yeah.
Currently, we don't have any boys that's currently playing URC Rugby that goes to the Junior World Cup. Where if you take France, you take Ireland, those boys are getting URC top 14 Pro de Deux level competition at a young age where I don't know why we don't have
Is it the
more younger
unions?
players.
Is it SA Rugby? That's the question actually, but that's a great point. If you look at the past couple of years, there's always been 1, 2, or maybe 3 that's a senior just to take control when it comes to that situation. But I feel like the boys, obviously the conditions for the first 2 games against New Zealand and Australia was terrible. Things didn't go for us, especially. We had our chance against New Zealand. We kind of let that one slip. In Australia as well, we got a yellow card and it was tough against us.
But partner, on the conditions, I actually want to ask you this. As a coach, don't you think rainy conditions should suit our way of playing, where we are a more dominant physical, structural front, like playing
100%.
forwards? Shouldn't the conditions suit us as a country?
100%, and that's where the physicality comes in, and that's where you want that gain line getting in behind them. And it was very interesting, and now this is my personal opinion, very interesting to see the first couple of games, wet, greasy conditions, and we're playing the fast runners, especially in the back line. You know, we do have that physical boys up front. JF van Heeren, that's coming from the Bulls, that new couple of signings, the skipper as well, Jackery as well. So the physicality is there, and then we came to the second game against Argentina, dry conditions. We actually played guys, you know, especially at the back, Brucho, that's actually a center that's playing 15. So a couple of options that wasn't making sense for me. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for the youngsters to keep learning, you know, keep growing, especially for the big game, because the big one is the World Cup. We need to prep for the World Cup at home.
Okay.
In die huis.
Okay.
F&B, gooi die petrol in, agatos. So that's going to be cracker. We're going to be, hopefully. Let's get the
But
tickets.
luckily, we will always be blessed with talent. So
talent is
we
there,
shouldn't be worried, Rockies. There's enough talent in our under-20
Yeah.
team. Okay. Gatos.
Happy days. And then women's rugby.
Oh, sorry.
Huh? Een klappiekie, hè? Nog eentje. Yes, there we go. Well done to the women's rugby. Qualifying for the Rugby World Cup in 2025. They're playing this the women's tournament as well in Tier 2. That's fantastic to qualify for that. We said last week how important.
En hulle het
great work.
pak uitdeel, partner.
It's not. It's net
Pak sla, dat was lelijk.
not photo finishes. That's world records.
Het wasn't one-pointers.
Huh?
It
Yeah.
wasn't one-pointers.
Let's
It was
see.
Usain Bolt gaps. No, congrats, on everyone involved.
Yeah, for all the hard work. It's fantastic to see how they've managed through the tournament. They obviously got a couple of players that needs to come back as well. But it's good to see women rugby overall, because we need to touch base on that, hopefully, as soon as possible. We need to get them in there. And it's... you know, they've got a couple of injuries, like Libby that's obviously injured. There's a couple of other ladies that's also injured. We've got Babalwa even playing in the Harlequins in the England as well. We kind of want to know, how does that transition work? How does that situation work of guys living overseas now and other countries seeing our talent, because we're doing a great job.
No, that's an awesome result for South African rugby qualifying for the World Cup. Just fantastic for women rugby in the whole, man, especially in South Africa. I know the Bulls has got currently a professional setup for women's rugby. And I truly believe it will develop more and more. And hopefully companies and people involved, because financial backing is one of the most important things, partners. So hopefully they'll get the right financial backing to grow their game. And so that we can get a Women's World Cup trophy also.
Back to nog een.
Backy.
Okay. Yeah, so that's fantastic. Yeah, and rugby is in a great place. Let's make sure we protect what we have.
Absolutely.
Protect the hands. That's obviously working with everyone at the moment now, making sure that everything is in the right place. Yeah, and then let's go down under. Okay, It was Culture Weekend. Culture Weekend. They brought the old school throwback Thursdays.
It was very cool.
Remind me
Did
a bit
you like
of
it?
Yeah, where Caleb, Ralph, and the boys and the Cullinans. Tana Umaga. Umaga.
It was actually
fantastic to see.
Jonah Lomo.
Hey, and that early game, did you watch it live?
I didn't, partner. Obviously, I
6:30.
was sleeping. It's too early. Sorry, Ruck. I'm old now. But I've catched up. I watched the replays. I watched the games. I know how, especially New Zealand people, how happy they were with the crowds that came out to watch Culture Weekend. I will always love Super Rugby. I love the attacking style of it. Obviously, it was a close game between the Blues and them. Really good on the ice.
Yeah, that was a good game actually. Juby was actually awake.
Okay.
Because the little boy, he wakes up early and when he's awake,
and what stood out for you in the game?
So, what a game that was. It was, your time, my time, your time, my time. They scored a try, the Blues scored a try. But it's good to see the quality of rugby within that match. Okay, that's the top of the table class. They've got a couple more games, I think 4 more games left before the playoffs. So it's important just to make sure that you get that home final, especially, in the URC as well. But yeah, a lot of things stood out for me. That's New Zealand rugby. The way they put guys into place, the way they're running lines, the quick ball, the keep the ball alive, the QB, the quick balls, those type of things. That's the stuff that we want to see, especially like with Toulouse as well. That's the type of rugby they play as well. The good conditions was perfect.
Okay.
And Edinburgh, Eden Park is actually the home of New Zealand rugby, like Ellis Park is. So fantastic to see the Culture Weekend. Fantastic to see what type of rugby they covered for us there as well.
No, and obviously we need a strong New Zealand team, which I think is going to bounce back. I really do. I don't know why my gut feeling is saying the All Blacks are going to bounce back immensely this year with Razor at the helm. They're quietly going about their business, making sure that they restock from a player's point of view. But lovely, I must say, I'm excited for the playoffs. And hopefully some of the Brumbies and the Reds can do their part and make it extremely competitive for the New Zealand teams.
Because there's a couple of those faces we're going to see in the Rugby Championship.
Of course.
Ruben Love at 15. Have a look at him. Daniel Rona, the one winger from the Chiefs. Have a look at him. Even in Australia as well. They've got a couple of good wingers there as well. So much to look forward to. So Ruckers, keep an eye. Because with a Rugby Championship, dan wil hulle sê, maar wie is die?
That's a surprise. Nothing surprises us this year.
Because the green and gold must know what's up. Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fantastic to cover all the news and just to make sure that we're up to speed.
Happy.
Up to speed.
I'm just excited,
are you ready?
Partner. Come on,
fork, your knife out? Is your fork out? French fries?
It's a big deal.
Yes.
Zama Pial, Jack Willis. Bonjour, ça va?
Yeah, comment ça va?
Comment ça va?
Bien. Yeah, vite. I can't wait, hey? Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's get cracking. Up next, Jack Willis.
Let's go.
Chick. Yes, Paige. Jack Willis in the house. Jackal King. Wow. Live and direct. Hey, Jackie boy. Welcome to Behind the Ruck. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. Yeah, not too bad. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
All
Can't
good.
complain.
Yeah, yes.
Excited.
The biggest question is, how are you doing? Obviously, you played last night, a late night game. Top of the lock list, eh?
Yes,
49-18. Well done. Congratulations on last night. How's the body feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. It was a big game. We've had a few big games the last few weeks. It was top of the table clash last night. But yeah, we managed to get the win, which was good. We've ended up top of the league now with Montpellier next week and then the final in a couple of weeks. So yeah, big end to the season.
Yeah, and looking forward to those games. Obviously, you said Montpellier next week and then it's the big one. But then after that as well, you got a couple of away games. The focus on that couple of games just to make sure that you kind of in and there about to get a home final.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to sort of find that balance when you're still you've got like the European final to focus on and have it in the back of your mind, but equally we want to be in a great position to compete in the league. And top 14 is so competitive week after week after week. So it's about using the whole squad and making sure everyone's playing their part, and hopefully we can end up with a trophy or two this season.
Yeah.
Jackie, then obviously, firstly, my man, lovely to meet you, big guy. Just the feeling in Toulouse, right? I've played a bit of my rugby there. I know how the French love their rugby. What is, obviously, you guys are top of the log, top 14, but I think, especially for Toulouse, looking at the European final, can you pick up the vibe currently in the city? Is there definitely something building towards next weekend?
Yeah, I think it was a strange one straight after the game, because I think one, we put pressure on ourselves that we wanted to win the semi-final, we wanted to be in the final, and two, we played a great first half and then not really a very good second half. And I think we all sort of came into the change rooms a bit like, oh, we should have done better. But then you forget that we actually made a European final. But over the last few days, I think we put a big focus on Stade Francais and the group that's going to be involved over the next couple of weeks and preparing for what's next as well. You can feel that excitement start to build, and I think for me, I'm trying to stay calm. I want to make sure that you save the energy till a bit closer to the time, but it's hard not to get excited about it. I think it's the first time for me playing in a European final, and yeah, I just already can't wait to get out there.
And then Jack, just talking about the semi-final, please tell us, South Africans, obviously it's the European is still something extremely new for us as a country. We sometimes don't understand fully the significance of this tournament. But looking at that semi-final game that you guys played, a packed out stadium, the atmosphere, the red flags, what was it like playing in a game like that, especially in Toulouse?
Yeah, I think we're very lucky with the supporters we've got here. They're crazy each week, but last week was another level. As we arrived, there was people banging on the bus, setting off flares. I was speaking to Jerome Kano's our breakdown coach, and he was sort of sat down the front of the bus. And he said someone came and headbutted the windscreen of the bus. And you could just, I think they can't contain their excitement, but then we're walking in and the fans are going crazy. And you just realize how much it means to everyone in the city. And I love that feeling of how cool it is to represent this club, but represent the city, and how much it means to everyone is a pretty cool feeling.
And is there, firstly, from a top 14 point of view in a European, is there a different vibe, especially playing for a historical club like Toulouse? Can you definitely tell that there's an emphasis on how important it is for you guys to win, hopefully next week against Leinster? Yeah,
look, the European Cup is the pinnacle of European club rugby. I think every club team in Europe they obviously want to do well domestically in their league, but the big achievement, the big goal for a season is to if you can win the European Cup, it's the pinnacle of your career from a club perspective. For me, when I grew up, like you think about winning the Premiership or winning the top 14 or winning the European Cup, and I think European Cup is I think everyone would say that's the number one. And the history that we've got as a club in the tournament, we talk about sort of the history that's been, but the history that we can make as well, which to be part of hopefully to be part of a team that can go on to achieve that. And look, there's a lot of hard work to go. Leinster are an incredible side, but it's our goal. We're in a final. Anything can happen, and we want to make sure that we do everything we can to try and win and add to the club's history.
Yeah, and the history of Toulouse is obviously on the next level, and obviously Toulouse is kind of like the Real Madrid of rugby. They've got all the names and stuff. Jackie, just playing with these players. I can name so much. Dupont and Ramos and Lulabet and all them. Just playing with these international players, does it pick up your game, especially coming from England? Being an international for England, played for England as well. What is the vibe like, the culture like, and even the process of knocking on the doors and playing finals?
Yeah, I think that's something that I loved from the moment I got here. I think I loved the intensity and competitiveness of the group, and the want to win games, want to win trophies, the want to win in training. And I think that ambition from the quality of internationals and the quality of players that we have, the competition is crazy for selection each week. There's so many people you could choose from. And that pressure that's on you all the time is such a good feeling. It gets the best out of you. It makes you want to push on for more. And having that quality around you makes you want to lift your game, because you know that you want to be adding to the team, and to do that you've got to be at your best. So it's pretty cool, and I think it makes you want to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah. And the type of rugby as well. Obviously, you played for Wasp, and it's very structural. Driving inside shoulders. You guys at Toulouse is just throwing the ball around. Finding space in the wide channel. Is the training specific like that? Are you guys training it like that, or is it just the way of the skills that the boys have?
Yeah, I think a lot of these players that have come through the Toulouse Academy it's the Toulouse way, and I think they know how to play like that. They've done it since they were a kid. Yeah. I think for me, the first few weeks, it must be hard to defend, because even in attack, I didn't even know where we were going. So I was. It's pretty cool to be part of a team that's free to chuck the ball around. You play to the space. You create space through the offload game, and it's something for me. I put a big emphasis on trying to work on my offloading skills, my sort of close handling skills, because, as you say, like probably a lot of the English style rugby is a lot more structured. You know where you're heading and why you're doing it, and where you're going. And I think being able to develop my game to add to a team like Toulouse was an important thing for me, and a challenge. Like to add to the attack that we've got is a tough thing to do, a tough ask, but I just try and do my role each week and add to the team, and that's all you can really do in a group like we've got. Give the guys with a bit more wheels some opportunities.
And Jack, obviously coming from England and growing up in England, have you been impressed by French rugby, their facilities, a bit of the training, and especially the quality of depth they have in players? Has that been something that has impressed you being over there?
Like Broad Street.
Yeah, I think from top to bottom, the moment I arrived in Toulouse, I was shocked. I think the facilities we've got are great. They're perfect for what we need. The stadium's spot on, and the supporters and everything that comes with that, and the energy around the place is brilliant. But I think what impressed me the most, and I probably touched on it a little bit, is that just at Toulouse specifically. Obviously, I can't comment on all French teams, but the want to win and the want to win games and win trophies, that ambition is something that I fell in love with the first week I got here.
Yeah, much better than the Broad Street facilities a little bit, eh?
That's just a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Jackie as well, obviously you've got England ambitions as well. What is the situation like? Are you still eligible to play, even playing in Toulouse as well?
No, so whilst I'm in France, I'm not eligible to play for England. I think that's obviously the biggest negative to being out here. I can't be available for selection. Look, it's a tough one, isn't it? You've got to balance when you make these decisions. You've got to balance everything, not just one specific thing. I think you've got to put your family and your financial stability is a key factor for me. After losing my job and being let down by a club that couldn't offer me that financial stability, somewhere like Toulouse is so sustainable. They look after themselves. They've got a great support. But then also from a secondary point, and for me, as soon as I got here to Toulouse, I fell in love with the energy from the supporters, the rugby, the way we played. It felt so freeing, was probably the best feeling, and I just felt really happy out on a rugby pitch. And after how devastating it was to go through what we went through at Wasps, to feel as happy as I did to be out there again on a rugby field with Toulouse, it feels like quite a lot to give up. I guess there's no guarantee you're going to get picked for England as well. So to give that up just for a chance is always something you've got to balance out and see where you sort of sit in the pecking order as well.
Mm.
And Jimmy, Jack, I want to talk to Joanna, because in South Africa we're obviously extremely lucky that our boys can still play their rugby abroad and still play for the Springboks, which has been a massive success for us because a lot of our players, they obviously from a financial point of view,
100%,
they get remunerated really well from the overseas boys. And from a South African point of view, as a country, we get to have our best boys play for the Springboks. And it's just a strange thing that other countries, I know New Zealand are similar, where they don't select guys abroad, but just a very strange situation that England won't see. I'm not saying the Springboks, Jack is the alpha and omega. We're doing it the right way, but I just thinking there is a lot of positive from still selecting your best players, even though they're not playing in your country. You don't have that financial burden as a franchise, but you still get to enjoy the talent, which is something, if I was England, I would definitely look into.
100%.
Yeah.
And even like Jackie, for you as well, you obviously enjoying it there in at Toulouse. I've spoken to like Cheslin Colby and Reinhard Elster that's been at Toulouse, Jano Vermaak and all these boys. And you can just see once you enjoy your rugby on and off the field, it's much easier. So, hopefully, so the ambition is still there, obviously, for your side to play in the world. You've obviously played in the Rugby World Cup. So your ambition is still there to add to your caps, eh?
Yeah, look, I think firstly, like you said, with the South African model, it's clearly worked the last couple of World Cup cycles. You think playing in the best leagues is what develops you as a player. Playing in different leagues is what develops you as a player. And I think for me, having that different challenge, playing a different style of rugby, is only developed my game. So I think that's what I think, having that ability to have new experiences but still be eligible. For me, I feel like it's the right thing. But equally, I can understand why there's a lot more to balance. Like obviously, the Premiership has had a tough couple of years with 3 clubs going bust. And they want to keep the talent in the country, keep the viewers going to the games, and keep that money in the game. And I understand that, and I think I don't hold any resentment towards that. I made a decision to be out here, and it is what it is at the moment. That being said, as you said, Joanna, I want to play for England, and that ambition will never fade away. I want to play for England, but as I said, there's always other factors.
And Jack, just looking at your career, you're still extremely young. You're still a very young player. What was it like, especially as a young guy, going through that period when was liquidated, and you're a family guy and a young guy with a career, but all of a sudden you're sitting not having a job? How did you handle that whole process, and what was it like? We've had one club, the Kings in South Africa, going through it, but I haven't heard anyone explain actually what it feels like to be in that situation.
It was crazy, to be honest with you. Like the thing that I think upset me the most, the first we heard about it was on Twitter. So we honestly saw, I was scrolling on Twitter and I just saw Wasps go into administration, and I was thinking, what is going on here? We put it on the leaders group and said, look guys, what do you know about this? And it just kind of carried on from there. I didn't like the fact that we were never kept in the loop. We always were one step behind what the media seemed to know about, and I felt that honesty wasn't there from the get-go, which was tough to deal with. And I think when you're trying to go into a survival protective mode of, I've got to make the best decision for my family, I've got to provide a roof over my baby's head and my partner's head, and you're not knowing what's going on and where it's at. We were sort of fed a lot of positivity that wasn't actually really there. And I think then that day, about 2 weeks later from when we first read it on Twitter, we just went in on the Monday, had an email say, come into the training ground. We went in, and this guy that we've never met before, so no one actually told us from the club. It was a complete stranger, told every single one of us that we'd been made redundant as of an hour ago and have all lost our jobs. And it was just crazy, to be honest with you. It was so upsetting. Everyone in that room, I don't think anyone will ever forget that feeling in that room. It was quite sort of eerie. No one really knew what to say. Everyone was upset, and yeah, everyone left that door and never came back.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was actually just a couple of months before that happened, I was going over back to Cape Town. But like guys like Nizam Kar, it was still there. Obviously foreigners that had to feel that and had to adapt after that was quite tough. Jackie, for you as well, then you got an opportunity to go to Toulouse. How's the family been adapting? Because the last time I've seen you, it was you and and Max. Now there's a family of 4 with the kids coming in. How's the family adjusting and how's life been there?
Yeah, look, I can't lie to you. The first couple of months were really tough. I think we were really excited. Came out to Toulouse the first 2 weeks. It was amazing, and then I think it hits home that we're living in France. We couldn't speak French. It was a big thing, and we were trying to just understand what had gone on with Wasps, but also what does the future look like? Because I only signed a 6-month deal when I first got here for the end of the season. And it was making a decision: do we go back home? Do we stay here? And there was lots of instability in our lives. But now, from the moment we re-signed, I think we both, Megan and I, were just so happy that we knew what the plan was. Enzo was doing really well at his creche. And then we a couple of months later we found out we're having a second one, and now our little girl Ali is 4 months old, and we're in the sunshine and been in the swimming pool this week. It's not all too bad.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And sorry, partner, Jack, I actually wanted to ask you now, the fact that when Wasp went down, right? And do you think the way the French do things is obviously a bit different? There's a way. Was that maybe the perfect remedy for your rugby? The way that the French lifestyle and the French way of playing rugby, like kind of you had a solid break, even though you went through a ridiculously tough time with a financial situation at Wasps. And I know for a fact that when I did all of my research on you, you are Wasps Academy, you love the club. Was the fact that you moved to France, that complete break in culture was actually good for your rugby?
Yeah, exactly that. You've hit the nail on the head. Like for me, if I'd gone straight to another English team, I don't know how I would have dealt with it. I think I would have found it really tough. And I know that some of the other guys in the team that went straight onto another English club found it a challenge. That at the beginning of the season they were playing for Wasps, and now all of a sudden, throughout no choice of their own, they're playing for a team down the road. For me, coming here, completely different culture, crazy supporters, living in a beautiful place down in the south of France, and the city's amazing, and I think all of that being so different, and their approach being so different, it all was just so new and different that I didn't need to compare. It was like, you know what, this is a new chapter now, and I think that's been a really positive thing for me and our family.
Yeah, and family and stuff. Obviously, it's been a up and down the road at Wasp, but injuries was also part of your time at Wasp. But Paige, he was the only one, a teammate of mine that was in a wheelchair. He had an ACL and an ankle injury at the same time. Jackie, talk us through what happened, how it went through, and even for yourself, double knee injuries, getting back, fighting back, and doing all you can to be back in the Wasp team, obviously the England team, and where you are today.
Yeah, I went through some tough times at Wasps with injuries, and my first sort of breakthrough season, if you like, I managed to get a good run of games, and then we had a semi-final against Saracens, and I was actually running around with a really sore left ankle, and it was really, really sore. But I was like, I took some painkillers and was like, right, I'll crack on. Played sort of. Well, got through the first half. My ankle was absolutely killing me. And I think basically I was putting too much weight on the other one. I've carried the ball, got tackled, and my right knee, I've done my ACL, LCL, hamstring off the bone, popliteus off the bone. And honestly, it was so sore. But as I was getting carried off, I'm limping off, and my leg felt like it was sort of swaying. And I was like, guys, my ankle's really sore on my left leg. And we honestly, it was crazy. And I'm crutching around on my left ankle, and I'm like, my ankle's really sore. But my physio knew how serious the knee was. He was like, look, we'll get it sorted. Fast forward to the evening, got to the hospital, and we've done a CT scan to check my arteries of both my legs. And the doctors come in and said, have you ever fractured your left ankle? And I was like, no, but I think it's fractured now. Like, it's that sore. And he was like, oh, okay, it's a bit strange. I'm not sure. Because I don't think they could believe that I'd been crutching around on it. Yeah. And anyway, they went back. I had an X-ray, and I'd broken my left ankle, and I was about to swear then, and I'd completely my right knee. So I basically left the hospital in a wheelchair with both my legs out because I couldn't weight bear on either of them. And I've just got this image of Ali James helping me, our physio at the time, dragging me into our academy house at the time, and he's dragging me, and I was just thinking, what is going on here? Yeah. So I had an operation. I had my fracture fixed on my left ankle, had my knee fixed about 10 days later. Fast forward, like a tough rehab, 8.5 months down the line, got back fit, but then my left ankle re-fractured. In the third game back. So I had to have another operation and was out for another 7 months. So in all, it was about 18 months out. And then got back, was really happy back played for a few months and then good few months. And then COVID hit, came back from COVID and played in the England, got into the England stuff again. And then was croc rolled and did my left knee. And that rehab, if I'm honest, was really, really tough. That was a 12 just over 12-month rehab. And there was some real ups and downs in that one where I was like, I don't know. There was a one period sort of close to Christmas where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get back here. I can't run without it swelling up. I was going back and forth for it to be drained and injected. And I thought this isn't looking good. And then we sort of reset things. We took a few steps back to then go forward, and we managed to get back out there. And now I just feel so grateful for every game I have, to be honest with you.
And Jack, it's a two-part question quickly. The first one is that game that you tore everything in your knee and the ankle. Did you at least win it? And secondly,
no, we got smashed. We got smashed.
So the 3 injuries in one day.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Sorry, champion. The second one is obviously the 18 months that was extremely difficult for you, injuries-wise. What kept you going? Was it the English dream? Was it your love for rugby? Because obviously injuries, as rugby players, we know that is the time you get tested the most. Mentally. So what was your motivating parts for you?
I think it's a good question. I think for me, you being honest, there's some days where you didn't have that motivation, and all it was for me was like, just turn up, get your exercises done, don't skip a rep, just get it done today and keep chugging. It will take you a step closer. I think I always had that passion to get back out there on a rugby pitch and that passion of, can I ever go on to achieve my first cap for England? Because at that point I hadn't played for England. So it was a big motivator for me. I was picked to go on the tour to South Africa that summer and did my knee 2 weeks before. So it was a big hit really for me, but it gave me that motivation and that fire to try and get back. I think the other thing, in all honesty, is my fiance now, we're engaged, is incredible and so supportive of me. And she was there every step of the way. When I was in a wheelchair for the first 10 weeks, she's wheeling me about and getting me to where I need to be. And look, she's a superstar. And then my brother as well, having him at Wasps day to day. Me and him are very close, and having him there day to day helped a lot for sure.
Yeah, and he's playing fantastic rugby actually there at Saracens. Are you pretty proud of him?
Yeah, no, I am. I think going back to what happened at Wasps, I think that's probably been the toughest thing for me. I think losing out on the relationships that of being able to play with some of my best mates, but also not losing out on being able to play with my brother again is a tough one. But I watch all his games. We talk every day, and I'm a very proud big brother. Even though he's bigger than me, he's a big lump. But I'm very proud of him.
Yeah. Jack, it's just one thing we have to talk about the Rugby World Cup. So still for a little, but as you can see here, Jack, we're not over it yet. Okay, you've been to the 2023 Rugby World Cup. What was your experience like? And I know you haven't finished the whole tournament, but what was your experience like in that couple of weeks, and also looking from far just to see what happens in the playoffs here?
Yeah, I think when the World Cup for me was tough. I think you dream of being part of a World Cup squad, and then you dream of playing. I didn't get all that much game time for I'm sure for various different reasons. Look, guys were in great form, but you want to play as a player. You want to be playing and adding to the group. And I think for me that was frustrating. I wanted to make sure I did everything I could to help prepare the group in the week, but you want to be out there on the weekend and trying to give it your all. But it was I didn't play as much as I wanted, and then to finish with the neck injury, finish a few weeks early was it was sort of the salt in the wound, if you like. I think it wasn't what I'd always dreamed of, but equally, I hope I look back on it one day and be proud of that I was part of a World Cup squad.
And then Jack, obviously it's a lot of injuries, but now Jack Willis is sitting 2 weeks before a European final. What does the next 2 weeks look like for you and your team?
Yeah, I think firstly try not to get too excited. I think a lot of hard work to be done the next couple of weeks. We've got Montpellier next weekend, so that's a big focus for us. But in the back of our mind, we've got to start the preparation towards that cup final. You can't hide away from that. Leinster are an incredible team. They've got such depth in their squad and so much talent. I think we've got to make sure we have to be at our 100% best in order to win that match. And I think we all know that. We want to make sure that we're giving that extra, getting that extra ounce out of every day to make sure that we're in the best position come 2 weeks' time. And yeah, I think it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking. It's everything really. There's so many emotions, but yeah, a lot of hard work to go the next couple of weeks, and a lot of focus needed by the group.
And a quick question: you've been to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Have you played there? Not yet.
No, I've not played there, but my brother played there a couple of weeks ago for Saracens against Harlequins, and he said it's incredible. So we're looking forward to that. It's nice to be back in the motherland for me as well, back in England. I'm excited.
And then Jack, looking obviously the Leinster team is fully loaded with Irish players, right? But the same for your team. You have some fantastic boys around you, the likes of DuPonts, the Peter Arkis, the Gelons, the Jack Willises. What is it like having those different? Obviously, you're used to playing with international players. You're international player yourself. But what is it like seeing what DuPont is like this next 2 weeks, seeing what Roman Intermak is like in the next 2 weeks? Are they different? What are the characteristics like?
I think what's impressive about those guys is the consistency, the control. No matter what the game, no matter what the pressure, they're exactly the same. They're calm, composed. You don't see a sudden rush and excitement. You don't see a sudden crash. You just see this cool, calm, collected approach to every game, and I think that's what's special.
Jackie, just quickly, obviously, just massive to tap into your mindset. Okay, as we're finishing off, we just want to play a little game, eh? You've played Toulouse and England and Wasp. We just want to know quickly, who will step up and get the call up, okay? If one of these actors drops out, okay? I hope it makes sense. So we'll call an actor in a movie, and any one of your teammates, filter them in there, okay? I'll start with one, and Paige will go after me. Okay, so the gladiator, Russell Crowe, who will step into his shoes?
That's a very good question. Someone that I've played with who is pretty relentless.
George Ford
is Anthony Gelonge, one of our boys. Like he doesn't stop. He keeps going. He's a tough old boy. So I'd say Jalonge.
Next one, Vin Diesel in Fast and the Furious. Who will be your Vin Diesel?
I'm gonna say Dan Robson because he's got the bald head ready to go.
And then the next one, Will Smith in Bad Boys.
Oh, that's a good question. Juan, you want me to say you, don't you?
No.
I can tell.
He definitely chucked it in there.
No. Just testing one too.
I'd have to say one of the coolest guys I've played with, and I think he'll agree with me saying this, but Juan, you'll agree with me saying this. One of the coolest guys and probably fits the role was Christian Wade.
Okay.
Superstar. Then the next one, Tom Hanks in The Castaway. Tom Hanks.
Survivor.
Oh, that's a tough one. I like that. Who do I think would be good at survival? That's the challenge. Good question.
Tom Willis.
My brother would be useless on an island. He'd be lost. I'd go with one of my old teammates from Wasps and from England. The reason I say this is because he'll always find food somehow, and that's Will Stewart. Will Stewart would be top of my list for that.
Yeah, and the next one, Bruce Willis in Armageddon.
Bruce Willis, Armageddon. I mean, that's another tough one. I want to go. I can't get Dan Robson out of my head because he's bald, but I should probably think of someone else. I'll go with my brother on that one to suit the name.
Yeah.
The next one. This is going to be interesting.
Okay.
Jim Carrey in The Mask.
Ooh.
Who would be the funny character in The Mask?
God, these are good questions, boys.
He likes his movies, looks like it.
Jim Carrey. I'm trying to think of who's been over the years the most sort of jokey, crazy character. That's what I'm trying to think of. There's someone at Toulouse who is a very, very funny guy, good at impressions. He can impersonate people, and that's Pierre-Louis Barassi, our centre.
Yes.
I've never seen anyone who can do impressions that quick. Like so, our new signing Blair Kinghorn at Toulouse.
Yeah.
He has a bit of a walk about him, like the way he struts around. Yeah. And Barassi can just do the impressions so well as if it's him. I find it so funny. So yeah, I'd have to go with him.
Yeah. And the next one, okay, let's get a bit serious. Okay, Denzel Washington in The Equalizer. We're making it tough for you today.
I'm trying to think.
It should be an easy one, Jack, if you think back to the Wasp days. Huh?
Yeah, I tell you who calls himself Denzel all the time is Marcus Watson.
Yeah,
he nicknames himself Denzel. Yeah. There we go. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, that's got to be him. It's got to be him.
Yeah.
Young Dens is what he calls himself.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, listen, thank you so much for your time and honestly for me that I haven't met you before, it's actually really enjoyable to get to know you. To get to know a different international player. I think Juan will make sure that we root for Toulouse 100%. In 2 weeks' time. But thank you for your time and all the best for your preparations, man.
Yeah, Jackie, thank you very much for making the time. We really appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been great to be on.
All the best that side there. We'll see you soon. Take care. All the best for the fam.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
Ooh. Beautiful, eh?
Fantastic.
Just to catch up with him. I haven't seen him in a long time. Obviously, my days at Wasp, he was still a little boy. Coming through the ranks. When he came through the ranks, he had challenges, it was James Haskell, Ashley Johnson, Thomas Young, all these guys, in front of him. But when he came through the ranks, he was just unbelievable, showing them, listen, there's a new sheriff in town. It's just good to see what he's done the past couple of, not weeks, months, but years as well. So fantastic to catch up with Jack Willis.
Yeah, obviously he's a world-class player currently. So for me, getting to know him with the Ruckers, I think, guys, that was brilliant.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant. And now
what a journey.
Yeah. And now there's we understand the player that we're going to see in 2 weeks' time a bit better.
Yes. So check that number 6, 7, or might play 8.
Okay.
So at Toulouse, and we're going to be behind him.
Yeah.
Support, fully support.
We had
They're looking
Jerome
good.
Kaino on the show.
Yes.
That is obviously their
We got a
skills
soft
coach.
spot.
So we got a soft spot to lose Rugby.
Yeah.
Okay?
They're going to win. They're not going to lose.
So Jack Willis, I know you're going to watch this episode. After the final, please tell Antoine Dupont to come on the show. Okay. Sorry, Jack.
Let's
nice
not
to
go
meet
there.
you.
Let's not go there. Yeah, partner, fantastic. Hey. We got a couple of results coming up, fixtures coming up. Just make sure that we're lock and loaded.
Okay.
Moet ik uitgooien?
Give us the results. It was exciting week for the URC.
Okay, the first game, Dragons versus Stormers. And that was 21-44 for the Stormers. Okay. And then Saturday at 2 o'clock was Bulls versus Glasgow. 40-34. Okay, you like that one. And then Sharks versus Benetton on Saturday as well. 5 minutes past 4. 24-25. 1 point. Other side, but 1 point. And then Lions versus Cardiff, the game after that. 34-13. Start with that Friday late night game. Stormers, unbelievable. Huh?
Yes, obviously.
At the last 15 minutes.
I was just about to
they
say.
started super slow.
Super slow. I was like, yo, hopefully this won't be a repeat of the tour they had in the beginning of the URC.
Yeah.
But
I
for
was
me,
also scared, yeah.
I was very worried in the beginning, but obviously at the end they were convincing.
Yeah.
The last 15 minutes, they were simply outstanding. Mani Lebok again.
8 out of 8. Hey. I said for him, I curve for him.
No look kick.
Bend it like Beckham.
Yes, and
Yo,
Sesam
incredible. Zulu.
With what is I? A Tamil.
Over the top, yeah.
Over the top.
Bomalakishi.
Bomalakishi.
Okay. Jammer Zulu. There's a Zulu on my
But
stoep.
for me, simply the guy for the Stormers, Warwick Galant.
Warwick Galant.
Yes, Warwick Galant was
And
absolutely
partner.
outstanding. Brilliant moments within the game. He actually had the best moments that set up the victory for the Stormers.
Yeah. I want to show you something, partner. I was there this weekend.
Okay?
Yes. Have a look at this, the quality of the man. We game on tour. What do you feel?
I'm excited. Perfect conditions for rugby. It's quite an unfamiliar situation. The lights are not as bright as we expected, but I guess it's going to be a nice aerial battle tonight in the start. We are looking forward to nice and running rugby tonight.
Beautiful. This guy's in incredible form. He's been scoring tries for crazy week in and week out. What are you excited to score another one tonight?
I think for me, first of all, I like to create some tries. I think it's a support play that saves me.
Yeah.
So I feel like tonight I'll be in support again. So hopefully I can get another one.
Beautiful. This is a humble guy. Hey, back to the studio. Take care. Partner. I'm just joking. That was from 2 seasons ago, hey? Unbelievable. And we were just playing around and it's good footage to have and he was fine for me to share this footage. But yeah, just his enjoyment of the game, his excitement of the game. And that pretty game 3 seasons ago in the first URC, he actually got man of the match at the same stadium, the Rodney Parade. And he came back this weekend as well, man of the match as well. How incredible was he?
No, his ability to pick up space and his decision making once he's in that space is something that for me stands absolutely it's so eye opening to see his talent and his ability once he's got space, and it just seems to me like he's got so much time.
Time on the ball, he can dance. He where do you want to be?
Yes, see that line break he had, and then the ability to put in the grabber kick for
Angelo Davids,
which was against the run of play. It was a moment the Stormers needed in the game.
Special,
So Warwick Galant, wanneer jy is
you are
special,
on fire, man, huh?
only se kind, jy is warm.
It's magic.
Okay, jy's warm, meneer. Love it.
Julle het julle Iniesta, ons het ons Iniesta.
Yes,
3 assists, hey. Unbelievable. So it's good to see us. So obviously the Stormers were a crucial game for them. They're obviously playing Connacht at the next game. We'll check the fixtures afterwards. But yeah, crucial, 5-pointer. We left it late. But at the end of the day, is that how you drive, is how you arrive. So fantastic work from them as well. And then your boys also left it almost too late.
Obviously, we arrived very poorly at the end there. But I think for 70 minutes, we were extremely convincing in the way that we played. Kurtley Arendse, simply outstanding. It's so scary to think that he's getting better. I don't know how that is even possible.
Yeah.
That he can play better
He's
rugby.
in form,
but
good to
week
see.
in and week out, he puts in performances that leaves your jaw on the ground, that leaves your eyes with little hearts in it. Where it's all love for Kurtley Arendse.
Fantastic, yeah.
But he
and
was
Elrich
extremely
Low
good.
as well. The try he scored actually, Elrich Low putting him to a gap. Yeah, Kurtley go through in again. for Elrich Low. Fantastic to see how Elrich Low is also performing as well. It's not like you doof all the time. Sometimes, hey, look long, play short. Put guys into gaps.
He's a very smart individual, especially after we've had that interview with him.
Yeah.
You can definitely pick it up. He understands his game. He understands his strengths. He understands everything about his game. Then someone who complements him really well, that Jake is actually using exceptionally well, in my point of view, is Nizam Kar, the bullet. Again, he comes on at the end, the last 5 minutes. He makes a crucial turnover where Glasgow had a sniff. Where Glasgow had a sniff of causing an upset there at the end. And he had a turnover around the middle, the halfway mark, that for me was such a high rugby IQ and high rugby intelligence. And Bullet is playing an pivotal and important part for Blue Bulls rugby currently.
100%, yeah. Loftus, you gaan, crucial win, especially for you boys, top of the table team. They down here, and a lot can happen. It's the race to the top 8.
But then, partner, obviously, Sharkies are dropping, not dropping themselves, but I think the Lions boys will be quite hurt with that loss against Benetton.
100%. Because they needed the race for the top 8. They did their job. But I kind of know, I called it last week, Benetton for the win, just because I kind of knew the desperation they're coming over here for, because they're a team that's always been at the bottom of this log, and now they've got an opportunity to smell something, to get into the Champions Cup, to get into playoffs. So they're going to be all out fighting, and I know they're playing the Bulls this weekend, so that's going to be an interesting one. But the quality of the Benetton team, I must give credit. Okay, obviously the Sharkies are building up for that final. But Benetton team, just to give away 2 penalties in the whole 80 minutes, it's incredible. And the way they're playing, the way they're putting pressure onto the Sharks was incredible to see. Obviously, the Sharks played well. There's Werner Kok and all these boys in fantastic rugby. But at the end of the day, the desperation was just more there from the Benetton.
As a centre point of view, what's your current view on Brex and where he's
what a combination.
Where he's fitting into world rugby?
Yeah, and even the other centre, Tom as well. They playing fantastic rugby as a combination. And I always say centres, when it comes to, you can have 2 good centres, but if the 2 individual, one centre does well, play well, and he plays well. But if the centre is playing good rugby, but connected. So Nonu and Conrad Smith did that type of combination. You had John de Villiers and Jacques Fourie did that type of combination. So they're building that. They're building that at Italy. And when you have something like that in the midfield of Italy, but not only Italy, but Benetton as well, it just puts the team in the front foot. But they're playing fantastic. And 2, 3 opportunities came from that. The one try, the 2 tries came from that. Luke Long play short, Brexit putting guys into space. Jacob Umaga scoring in the corner. That was incredible to see. So Italy rugby, especially in the midfield, thumbs up.
But just on the triangle quickly, and I want to go quickly through the one thing I like about Brex is whether he plays long, plays short, everything looks exactly the same all the time.
Yeah.
Which is probably the most impressive part about his ability. Just to stay square and play and keep the picture absolutely the same all the time. For the fences, that must be really difficult to handle.
It's super tough to handle, especially when you look at the second defender. You never look at the guy opposite you. You look at the second defender, what he does. To have that ability to look at the defender and still make a perfect pass, a short ball, or that perfect pass out the back is incredible. It's skills that you have to train week in and week out. And he's starting to become that center. So it's good to see.
Excellent win for Benetton. Lions did what they had to do.
Yes, also but late, but okay.
Plucky Cardiff team.
They left it also but late. I know the bonus point was crucial for them. The bonus point actually came in the last 3 to 4 minutes with Achuka going over.
Playing good rugby, that young man.
Yeah. Playing fantastic rugby.
Really good rugby player. I know the older brothers obviously left for Durban, but the younger brother is really good. He's got fantastic moments in every game so far this year. But I must say, poor. For me, the fact that Loftus was empty. From a crowd point of view, Ellis Park was empty. So mensen,
Philip Loftus, is it
please,
showtime?
Gautengers. Huh? I know it's winter, it's getting a bit nippy, but put on your jackets, put on your jeans, put on your shoesies, get to the stadium, support the boys. Okay, please, cool. Guys, come on.
100%, yeah. And while we're talking about supporting today, especially for this weekend coming, the last round before we go into that finals of the Investic Champions Cup and the Challenge Cup. Okay, first game is Bulls versus Benetton, and that's Saturday, 2 o'clock.
Yes.
That's one you need to check it out. Okay, we got to keep the Benetton at bay. Then straight after, it's Lions versus Glasgow. It's 5 minutes past 4. Then Connacht versus Stormers, 5 minutes past 6. And then Sharks versus Cardiff, 6:15. So it's at the same time.
Yes.
Yes.
Very confusing.
So the Sharkies versus Cardiff. A dead rubber a little bit.
Definitely.
So the first 3 games is the games we need to check. Overall, what are you looking forward to? Who must do what? I mean, we know the Bulls is important for us to get the Benetton down there to make it easy for the Lions.
No, altitude matters. I don't think Jake put it up there for jokes and giggles and stuff. Altitude will matter for the Benetton side. I know they're a good quality team, but I still back a Bulls team at home to put 10 plus points on Benetton.
Yeah. So in Lions, Glasgow, Lions playing the top of the lock team, and also in the same breath, that's the importance of Stormers getting the 5 points to make sure they stick in the top 8.
That probably is for me a tricky game this weekend, partner. I'll even back the Lions this weekend at home against Glasgow.
It's a must-win for them.
But the tricky game for me is Connacht and the Stormers playing
Weet-Bix versus Damian Willemse.
Yeah, so that's going to be the tricky. That's going to be a tough rugby game.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Not impossible. The Stormers is an amazing team and they should win it, but just a tricky speed bump type of game.
It's a must-win because they've got this game and then the last game, obviously in 2-3 weeks. Okay, the last game of the URC, they're playing against the Lions. So it's gonna be like who kicks out who in the top 8. So they need to win this game. The Lions need to win this game to make sure that there's a good chance for both of them to go through. Okay, but it's a lacquer weekend waiting for us, eh?
That's a lot of rugby.
Yeah. Oh. Let's go while we're in a lot of rugby in a lacquer weekend to our Lulabet predictions. Ciao. Okay, Paige, talk to me. First game, Bulls versus Benetton, eh?
Bulls 12 plus at home.
Yeah, I've got massive respect a little bit for Benetton, so I'm going to say Bulls +4. Okay, Bulls +4. So Bulls, please make sure that we get over the line on that one. Lions versus Glasgow. It's just straight after.
I'll go Lions by 7 at home against Glasgow. I'm going to back the Lions. They'll understand the importance of qualifying for the top 8. They'll be up for it. Lions by 7 at home.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. So I'm going to go Lions +3. It's going to come down to the last 5 to 10 minutes. That game is a game that can go both ways. Glasgow is desperate, trying to get one over. So they're going to target this game actually to go home with at least. They got 2 points against the Bulls. The Bulls gave them 2 points. They just won a victory and take away the 6 points. So it's important for our Lions to make sure that we.
Okay, Lions by 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep them down there. Okay, Connacht versus Stormers. Away from home.
I'll go Stormers by 5 away from home. Mani Lebok, Damian Willemse, Warwick Galant, Ursel Jantjies, just too many superstars in that Stormers team, and I'll go Stormers by 5 away from home.
I'm going to go Stormers by 10.
Okay.
Stormers by 10. I just want the Stormers to play like they played the last 15 minutes. They should start the game like this, okay? Because a lot of the time last weekend for the first 65 minutes we're under pressure and we take penalties and stuff like that. We're trying to slow the ball down. That's not our game. But the last 15 minutes, we want that for 80 minutes. So yeah, I'm looking at Stormers +10.
Okay.
And then the last game, Sharkies Cardiff. It's kind of like a dead rubber. The Sharks can't help anyone. The Cardiff is out. Sharks are just trying to get themselves ready for that final.
It all depends if John Plumtree is going to have his best side on the plane to London. I'll go Sharks by 8. Whether it is the A side or B side, I still think the Sharks would want to finish really strong. I'll go Sharks by 8.
I'm going to say Sharks. Yeah, I think Sharks by 5. Okay. Just because even Itzerbeet is under risk. You know, is a little bit under risk. Vincent Koch is under risk. The 2 sentence. Murray might be, got a suspension. They've got Ethan Hooker out for a long time. Not good signs. So it's going to be a cracker of a game, yeah.
Okay, by 5.
Yep.
All right.
Sharks by 5.
Happy.
And that's our Lulabet predictions. Paige, unbelievable episode. Is it episode chick?
Yeah.
Chick.
44.
44.
In the bag.
Good maths.
Ja.
Fantastic, yeah.
Soos 'n dinge se by Woolies.
Yes.
Expensive baggies.
So Ruckers, thank you very much for tuning in. We love the quality time with us. We love it.
Love it, meneer.
And they're doing the story. They like, share, and subscribe like we asked them nicely.
Ruckers,
like
they're
always.
showing us love wherever we go. They're asking us about who's going to be on the show partner.
Yeah.
So they must never stop it. They must actually just get more.
And then one auntie came up to me and says, "You from behind the Ruck? Are you the short one or the tall one?"
Ach nee.
Hey, toe sê ek vir sy auntie asseblief.
Ja, auntie seatbelt.
Auntie met 'n seatbelt. Is hierdie kleintjie wie lank hier?
Sy is buite beheer, auntie.
So but I love the love from the Ruckers just to come up to us and just to catch up with us and have a chat.
And obviously, partner, Ruckers, we are your number 1 rugby podcast.
Yeah,
okay?
your number one.
Your number 1. Okay, so together we grow this thing. Okay,
Yeah.
happy days. And then Ruckers, obviously, we can never be anything without our sponsors. And I want to take this opportunity to thank our powered and proud sponsor, Kruger International Asset and Wealth Management. Also our exclusive betting partner, Lulabet. And then our official apparel partner on board with Behind the Ruck, Old School. Thank you guys for your support and sponsorship of this fantastic show and making sure that we are on the line. Without you guys, this is
Nothing
not
is possible, huh?
Yes.
There's 2 rugby players with mics.
Exactly,
Yeah,
meneer.
they make it possible.
Happy days.
And that's fantastic, eh? Did you enjoy it? Because I enjoyed
I
it.
love that, guys, and I can't wait to see you guys next week.
Yes, next week. So tune in, guys. I'm Juan de Jong.
I'm Rudy Page.
And the Ruck is clear.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.